Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. It shows a little bit more about what the Domino X630 does. For today, my name is Matthew Condon. I'm the Business Development Manager for Corrugated here at Domino. And I'm here with Finn MacDonald, who's the president of Independent 2. And so what we want to do is have a little bit of a chat with Finn in regard to who Independent 2 is and what they're doing a little bit more with digital. So welcome, Finn. How are you?
I'm doing well, Matt. How are you today?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for participating, by the way. So, tell me a little bit more about Independent 2. What is the company? What's the background, and give us a little bit of the history.
Sure, happy to do so. Welcome to the audience. Independent 2 is located in Louisville, Kentucky, and we've been here since the 1960s. We're a third-generation sheet plant. Grandfather, father, and myself have been part of the family that's run our operation and taken care of our customers for that period of time. We're a pretty good sized sheet plant. We've got a nice balance between flexo folder gluer and rotary die cutter converting, specialty converting, now digital center. We're about a 300,000+ square foot facility, single facility, and that serves the radius that we're in, which is it's just a hub. It's the hub of the world. A lot moves through Louisville, Kentucky. My role as president at Independent really is to help us continue to serve our customers in the manner that we've done for generations, and that is to keep our quality, keep our dedicated service, share and bring innovation to them so that they can experience packaging success. That's our current motto or brand statement. My other roles include certainly hiring and retaining our talent, and also making sure that we develop partnerships in the industry that allow us to bring converting technology, digital technology, any other type of technologies that help us, again, stay ahead of the market.
Great, thanks. In regard to kind of the type of work that you do, what kind of markets and industries you serve? I mean, what type of corrugated jobs are typical and kind of, we'll say kind of the heartbeat of Independent 2?
Sure, really, fairly traditional segments. Food, beverage, and spirits are certainly a big piece of our portfolio. What you would broadly call home goods. I mean, that is generally anything that could build a home, anything you buy for the home. That's a very healthy part of our portfolio. E-commerce in all its shapes and sizes is a dynamic part of our portfolio. Protective packaging. I don't want to call it industrial, but protective packaging, something where the functionality is in the structure, perhaps not in the print performance, is also an important part of the mix that we serve. Quantity-wise, Matt, we remain, if I say we remain somewhat all over the place, that'd be accurate. We do truckload business. We'll do a lot of business in that mid to low thousand range.
Okay.
We've got some specialty equipment, some Solarco box makers, and some equipment that allow us to get down to the hundreds and produce that very quickly, kind of keep that small agile work off the main line. And that's those quantities, that range of quantity really matters. We do a tremendous amount of inventory work as well. So we're going to produce in advance of our customers' needs so we can have it or they can have it at the exact time, the exact quantity that they want it.
Okay, this kind of maybe leads into the next question, but where do you see those order counts going? Are they going up? Are they going down? Is there more variations in SKU? I mean, what are the customer expectations that you're seeing now that could be, are they changing? Let me ask that.
Sure. I think a couple different ways to address the question. One is, if I generally say order quantities aren't going up, that'd be accurate. Kind of this exact quantity, this almost hyper just in time, nearly like a Condon type of service. That is something that we expect will increase. I think over the past year, that traditional model of forecasting or annual usage, I think is going to go through a period of transition because, frankly, this economy can get moved dynamically, quickly. So we think that agility, smaller quantity, quicker turns is not just a near-term focus of ours, but maybe a longer-term focus. When you get back to what you would call traditional business, obviously the ability to I will say, change your message, react or respond to the times that you're in, is something that we're also planning on. We don't think it's going to happen. We think we're actually in it or at the front of it. So if you've got items that, all of a sudden those, business moves, it was a US based business. It has to go maybe over a border to get produced. Well, all of a sudden, all that print has to change in a heartbeat. Or if the customer wanted to insert a message that relates to the times you're in, be well, wear a mask, be safe, we're in it together, something like that.
Right.
And we're being asked to address those changes and to do so quickly and dynamically, and really without a whole lot of change in the day-to-day process, if you will.
So how has COVID affected the business? I mean, what are the differences compared to a year ago?
Sure. Yeah, I think COVID. I would imagine most of the folks on the chat, might be shaking their heads that COVID has had an impact on the economy. And those, I think the changes are generally, it's in the planning and it's in the response time. So traditional planning is certainly, it's under a great deal of pressure, but the response time can't ever lag. Customers need to serve their customers in the manner with which it was promised, no matter what happens ahead of that. So we are faced, I think many are faced with that challenge of, there were no orders last month, there were no needs, there was a shutdown, or frankly, a plant maybe had an operational challenge with labor. Everything was down, and then boom, everything is back. So our position is we have to have the assets, we've got to have the equipment, the technology, the processes to be able to react more quickly than a company that really took pride on being a pretty fast turn company. Now we've got to step it up.
So now it's a bit of lightning fast now than just really fast.
Yeah, it's a bit of lightning fast, Matt. None of the other assumptions change. Quality still has to be, what was expected. Innovation still has to be what was expected. Performance still has to be what was expected. The price is still supposed to be in the context with which it began.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you ever expect it to start to go back to the way it was before, even post-COVID? Or do you think what has been put in place now is now the new customer norm?
Great question. I probably can't give a full answer to it. What I would say is it'll be a bit of both. If it's a certain scale, maybe that industry or that scale will go back to where it's at. But actually, if you said there's been disruption, there's been a lot of people who've been able to manage it, right? They've found a way to get to market or get to consumer or get the doorstep in new ways. And I think they're really harnessing that opportunity. They may be able to essentially directly sell to their customer where there might have been some steps, more traditional steps in place. So I think, if you are that business and you can reach your customer more directly with maybe more direct messaging and more direct return, I don't think that would go back. So I think we've got to be able to handle both.
Well, speaking of disruption, why digital? What are the drivers that decided independent to that going digital is really the move forward for your company?
Right. Well, it was if I say it was a decision or a vision or something that we've been excited about for over a handful of years, that'd be accurate. We've always believed in the values of digital and what it can bring in the change of messaging, the change of brand, the increased amount of excitement or content or critical content that it can add to a package, the ability to help sell on the shelf or surprise at the doorstep. Been longtime fans of that. What we hadn't been able to do is really find the type of digital that applied to our business. And that's something that we kind of had, they say true love finds you. So we kind of had to wait for the best equipment, the best technology, the best partner that met our we think of it as our everyday needs. And, that's something that we're excited about, certainly to get introduced to your company, your technology, and X630i, because that's where we said, okay, Now we've got the asset, now we've got the partner that we can become disruptive. You know, we can go out into our market and disrupt it with these new opportunities.
Well, I find the term that you use really interesting. I know other people have said this as well, as you use that term everyday digital, which is not, I haven't heard a lot of people in the market use that term. Can you explain a little bit what that means and how that I guess is part of independent too?
Sure. Yeah. Great question. And the way we look at everyday digital, Matt, is that if you maybe make a broad definition of flexo caliber digital, you know, or digital flexo replacement, something that begins with that kind of understanding, then to us, it opens up the playing field that we really operate in and day out. We have never been a high graphics display house or point of purchase house. We have really never been a printed top sheet litho label type of house, just because our market hasn't demanded it to us. What we have been is a brown box and a light brand company that has really tried to push more color, more variation, a bolder, stronger, fresher message, and critical functionality. You know, lot numbers, seasonal event locators, things like that. We've really tried to push that to our customers so that they can get ahead in the markets that they've got to compete in. You know, we've known what we've needed on an everyday basis, but we hadn't really had the opportunity to apply a production-ready digital asset to that opportunity. And we didn't want to step into it with too small of an arsenal, something that would be easy to oversell, but very difficult to deliver daily at the scale or the quantity that we needed. We needed to really be careful about it until we found, again, a partnership and a press that could really meet our opportunity at scale and help us drive forward.
Oh, great. That's really interesting. What about, I mean, I guess how do you see the future? Is the future going to be expanding the everyday? Would it be going into other segments within Corrugated using the digital asset? I mean, how do you see the world moving forward from an independent two point of view?
Sure. Well, I do think, again, kind of going back to the everyday model, in-house, what we're doing is evaluating two types of work. Really this body of internal work. So it's customers we already have, and it's print that we're already applying to their orders as they come through the schedule. The key here is that in many instances, we believe routing that work through our digital press and then finishing it in our traditional converting line, in total, it may speed up the process, it may reduce waste, it may reduce cost, it will improve quality, it will improve consistency. Even in a two-step model. Even in a two-step model, Matt, even in a two-step model, because what we're trying to do is, again, if you think of our main line, you know, there are really just a few things that can slow our main line down. So that would be not having the raw material. It would be not performing well during a setup or a changeover. It would be problems managing a job through the press. You know, and then the larger X factors of, you know, uptime, downtime with the machine health. But what we're really focused on is squeezing out that waste in a day in setups, in fixing print problems, and you know, maybe chasing answers and chasing color. We think that if we can apply a certain degree of unknown into a manufacturing schedule, then what we squeeze out of it might be a handful of extra jobs on this flexo, a handful of extra jobs on this die cutter. And for us, in an incredibly tight labor market, and we're already working quite a bit. You know, we're working through the days, we're working in the weekends. We've got to find every efficiency, every opportunity we can to get more done with who we have in the time allotted. So that internal use, that conversion work, is something that we are as excited about as the known, you know, the known excitement with digital, and that's the external side. So that's the selling digital, for all the dynamic values, the exciting possibilities, the great range of solutions that it brings a customer. But we're really going to fill the machine with conversion work, and we're really then going to increase its load through new sales. And you know, over a course of a year, we'll see where the balance is at and see what we need to, how we need to adapt from there.
Great, kind of right tool for the right job type of mentality.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. And I got to ask you one last question.
Sure.
Is, well, why Domino?
Oh, well, I mean, I'll tell you, like I said, we had spent years learning about digital, you know, and we'd had some tremendous experiences, you know, with our industry, and meeting a lot of people, seeing a lot of great work, and really always coming away going, that's beautiful, but it just doesn't apply to our day. You know, beautiful work, but doesn't apply to our shop, doesn't meet what our market needs. When we learned about the X630i, when we learned about the DNA behind the machine, which is this nice combination of Sun's lineage in the corrugated industry, their knowledge of feed and transfer, combined with the global resources and vision of Domino, and their ability to really have a vision to say, we will become digital leaders in media, in the channels that we choose to. So Domino had demonstrated their success in channel A, channel B, and now they're coming to corrugated. So what we saw was, this is a nice opportunity. You've got the transfer and the feed, and you've got the digital innovation, and it's all wrapped up in the shell that when you look at it, I think sheet plants, box makers are going to look at it and say, that's a box making machine. You know, it's not a spaceship. That's something I understand. It looks like it would fit on my floor. It looks like my operators and my crews would be comfortable near it. It looks like it can take a hit, and I don't need to put a clean room around it. You know, it's a durable, sturdy machine that happens to be full of some great innovation. So when we put all that together, we thought we have a start, just a start. But that's where the relationship begins. Right. So, you know, certainly working with the people behind the label, that is where, for us, that's where the true sense of not only possibility but reality have come from. So the people behind the project are the folks who are they're committing their names, they're working the long hours, their feet are sore at the end of the day because they're press side, they're with us, they're problem solving with us, we're creating new ideas for improvement together, and really we're running the work together. And I think that demonstration of tenacity and authenticity has been extremely special to us. And I think because Domino's exhibited to us, I have every confidence Domino would exhibit it to the next customer or the next prospect.
I guess, is there any last comments you would have on your journey?
Yeah, you know, it's fascinating. In the 20 minutes or so that we've talked, we really have gotten up to the beginning of the journey. I mean, it's amazing how much work goes into reaching the starting line. But the work that we've done in the install, the work we've done through the kind of the commissioning of the machine, the early work we've done in taking samples and taking the spark of digital out to our market, along with the early conversion work we've put through the machine, really means that the end of 2020 and certainly the beginning of 21 are full steam ahead for the Domino Digital Center that Independent 2 has. We're excited to offer it to our market. We are more than happy to have a conversation or host anybody that the Domino brand would like to bring to us. As always, seeing is believing. Getting up next to a machine, talking with the folks who use it is always the truest way to get to know what is special about the press itself. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your time, and thank you for everybody at the Digital Packaging Summit. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you all.